Want me to turn this TV on?
Yes, please. Okay. While we're waiting, you can just probably settle yourself in your chair. Maybe turn some music on if you'd like, and just sort of settle in and just slowing down your breath. Okay. Well, if that other person jumps in, it won't bother. It's coming on 2 o'clock right now, so let's get started. This is going to be an hour class. It's going to be yoga with the chair. So your chair should not have any arms on it because we're going to be moving around in the chair. Again, if you have a block or a book or a pillow to maybe put your feet on, if your feet aren't comfortable, just right on the floor. And then a strap or a belt would be something that you might want to have handy. And I have my little tennis ball, but I'm not sure that we'll use that. We have in the past, but we'll see if we have some time for the tennis ball. But my name is Ann, and I know, Teresa, you are probably our newest person to the chair class. I don't know if you've taken a chair before, but we'll be doing, most of the work will be in the chair. There will be a series of poses that we'll do, some warrior series that you can either use the chair or you can do a standing pose. Just having a chair accessible to you if you need to put your hand down. It's nice to have the chair around just for some added support. But let's get started. So what I'm going to have you do is just sit back in your chair, having your feet on the floor or a block, just flat on the floor. Having your hands on your thighs. You can either have them down on your thighs, or if you want to have them open and raised up, or you can either gently just fold them in your lap. And just softly close your eyes and just start slowly breathing in through your nose. And then we can just open our mouth and just slowly exhale out. So breathing in through your nose. Open your mouth and just breathing gently. Another breath through your nose. This time, try closing your mouth and just breathing out through your nose again. Breathing in and out. Lengthening your breath as you do your inhale. Let's do a count to 4, 3, 2, 1. And then on the exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just come back to your regular breathing. It's nice if you can breathe in and out through your nose, but if that's not possible, then just breathe like you normally would, in and out through your nose and your mouth. Relaxing your eyes, relaxing the space between your eyebrows. Relaxing your tongue, your throat. Letting your shoulders come down. Relaxing your upper arms, your forearms and your hands. Relaxing through your chest, your heart, your lungs, your stomach. Down through your hips, your thighs, your knees, your shins, your ankles, and your toes. Just softening all those places, just breathing in. Scanning your body, seeing if there's any tension, and just recognizing it. Now, if you have any soreness or pain during the practice, and know that a pose just isn't right for you, you do not have to do everything that I tell you to do, but this is your practice. It's like everybody has their screen blacked out, so nobody's going to see you. So let's just be aware that if you have any issues, you don't have to do those poses. You can always come back to the seat and just gently relax. And come back to your breath. Come to an intention, being present in the room, just forgetting everything that's going on outside. And just coming into yourself, into your loving self. Now you can just gently flutter your eyes open, and we'll start with some extremities here with your hands and fingers. So on your next exhale, presenting your hand forward, opening your palm, and taking the index and thumb of your left hand and gently just bringing that pinky finger back a slight bend. And releasing and coming to your ring finger and just bend that back just a little bit. Releasing, coming to your middle finger, nice little stretch here. Releasing, coming to your index finger, nice little stretch here. And then laying the hands on top of each other, coming up with your thumb and your index finger, and just bringing that right thumb, just a nice little stretch back. And releasing your hands, and then just making some circles with your wrists going back and forth. And then right hand still putting your fingers down and cupping with your left hand. And just a nice stretch in that wrist. Just bringing those fingers back. And releasing that fingers up. And then just bringing the left hand up to bring the fingers back. You're stretching the wrist down. Releasing, and again, doing little circles with your wrist. And then presenting your left hand forward and coming with your right index finger and thumb. And then just gently bringing that pinky finger back, releasing, going to your ring finger. Releasing, coming to your middle finger. Releasing, coming to your index finger. Releasing, and then laying your hands on top of each other, coming up with your right index finger and thumb, and then just bringing that left thumb back towards you. Releasing that thumb, and then just doing some little circles with your wrist. And reverse the circle. And then pointing your fingers down, bringing that hand around your fingers, and then just bending this back. Nice stretch here. And releasing, fingers pointed up. Right hand on that finger, bringing that wrist back. Again, if you feel any numbness, any pain, just back off. And releasing, and then just doing the circle words. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here is scoot up a little bit in your chair, making sure your feet are firmly on the floor. And we're going to do some big hip circle rolls. So at your hips, your lower back, we're just going to circle around, big circles. Go really slow. I went a little bit too fast. Just feeling that lower back, all the little vertebrae. Maybe you get a little adjustment in there. And then reverse the circle around. Slowly, slowly. Just warming up that lower back. And then coming back to center and extending your hands out. And what we're going to do is you're going to shine your palms forward, and we're going to make big circles, slowly coming around all the way back, just giving your shoulders a nice stretch here. And as we continue our circles, you're going to bring your hands in, and as they come in to a tighter circle, maybe make them a little bit faster and faster and faster. Until you're almost in and just doing little tiny circles. And then reverse them back out. And we're going to open up and slow down as you bring your arms around. Okay. And then just let them go down. And then just roll your shoulders forward. And roll the shoulders back. And then bring your hands up like cactus arms. You're squeezing your shoulder blades together. Just opening your chest and really squeezing our shoulder blades. And then on your next exhale, bringing your hands down beside your belly. And then squeezing your arms back, squeezing your lower shoulders now. Just holding it there, but make sure you're breathing. And then release and interlace your fingers. And then you can put your fingers up over your head. And then we're going to lean to the right and looking up and over, almost like you're looking at your elbow. A nice little bend, nice side body stretch on the left side. The next inhale, coming to center. And then exhale, leaning over to the left and looking up at your right inner elbow area. And then coming back to center, releasing your hands, and then just shaking it all out. Rolling your circle on your shoulders. And then a little neck stretch here. Just bring your chin to your chest. A nice stretch on the back. And then as you take an inhale, just looking up over your right shoulder, gazing to the right. And then on your next exhale, bringing your chin all the way across your chest, and then gazing over your left shoulder. Inhale, coming across to your right shoulder. Exhale to the left shoulder. And just slightly opening your mouth and then just rotating your head back. Doing a nice, slow, big circle. When you get to the back, just slightly open your mouth. And then reverse the next circle. And then chin to chest, and then coming up into your neutral position. Shin parallel to the floor. Hands now go onto your thighs, and we'll do a few seated cat-cows. So as you breathe in, you're going to come forward on your chair, leaning forward with your chest forward. Nice big inhale. And then leaning back, arching your shoulders, arching your back into your cow. Your cat. This is your cat. Breathing in, this cow coming forward. Breathing out. And just continue on at your own pace, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And then coming back to your neutral spine, sitting up on your chair. Now what we're going to do next is we are going to do a little rotation with just your ribs. So you're coming forward with your ribs, and then you're going to the right, and you're going to the back, and you're going to the left, and then you're going to the front. So just like you're doing a circle with just your ribs. So back, to the left, to the front, to the right, to the back, to the left, to the front. Let's do a couple the other way. Reverse, go to the left, to the back, to the right, to the front, to the left, to the back, to the right, to the front. And then just relax your arms. Taking your right hand, we're going to do a chair twist. The right hand goes on your left thigh. And you're going to turn with your shoulders. Try to keep your hips and your lower back still coming forward. We're turning with our shoulders and then grabbing with your left arm around the back of your chair. Now this may be all that you can do. You might even just look right over your right shoulder, but you're twisting or looking to your left. Now you can, this is part of the practice that is not painful for you. You can look over your left shoulder. Just gazing over it, twist your body over a little bit. Nice stretch of the shoulders, upper back. On your next exhale, coming back to center, keeping your hands on your thighs. Maybe rolling your shoulders again. And then this time, taking your left hand on your right thigh, bringing your right arm around the back of the chair, twisting with your shoulders and your upper back. Keeping your hips straight on the chair if you can. And if possible, looking over your right shoulder. Remember to breathe. Long, slow, deep breath. Is everybody hearing me? Okay. So continue your little twist. And then coming back to center. Again, rolling the shoulders back, rolling them forward. And then taking your right arm and you're patting yourself on your back. A nice tricep stretch here. And you're just going to take your left hand and gently push on your right below your elbow. Then releasing that arm, and then bringing your right arm across you, and then you're bringing your left arm around. And just nice little stretch here on the shoulder. And then releasing, patting yourself on the back with your left hand, and then just gently pushing with your right hand on that area right below your elbow. And releasing, bringing that left arm across, wrapping that right arm underneath, giving yourself a nice little stretch here. And release. This time we're going to extend our right foot. Flex and point your toes. And do a little ankle circle. And then reverse your circle. And then you might have to sit up a little bit on your chair, being on the edge of your chair. And then just do a big circle with your leg, your right leg. And lower that right foot down, extend your left foot, and then just point and flex. Point and flex. And then rotate around, little circles. Left ankle, reverse the circle. And then again, sitting on the edge, rotating your leg in some big circles. Bringing that leg down, both feet on the floor. Now I'm going to do a seated forward fold. So you're going to extend your feet out in front of you, flat on the floor. And this may be your forward fold, here with your hands on your thighs. But if you can come down a little bit further, maybe they're going to come down here onto your shins. Or if you want to come all the way down to your toes or the floor, you can also use your book or your block. And then just come forward on this. And then just hanging your head all the way down. Just letting your neck go. Hinging at the waist. I'll do it sideways so you can see it a little bit better. And then slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way up to your seated position. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a seated straddle. So you're widening your legs, opening up your inner thighs. Toes are pointed out to the side. Again, you can use your block if you want to, or you can just stay right here hinging at the waist. You can come down to your block, or you can come all the way down to the floor. You might have a little bit closer to the floor with the straddle than you did with your forward fold. And just hold this for a few seconds, few breaths, letting your head go, just relaxing your neck, just letting your head hang. And when you're ready, on your next exhale, slowly, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, just come all the way back up to your seated position and bring your legs together. We're going to warm up before we do our standing poses with a few sun salutations. This is a seated sun salutation. So we're going to do it slowly at first. You're just going to take a nice deep breath, bringing your hands over your head, pressing your palms together, and then on the exhale, swan diving down all the way to the floor into your forward fold. And then on the next inhale, coming up with your hands on your knees. And then exhale, coming down to the floor. And inhale all the way back up, palms together, coming into your heart center. So we're going to do a few of these, warming up your breath. So inhale, palms together. Exhale, swan dive all the way down to the floor. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, all the way up, palms meeting, hands to heart center. Inhale, big breath in, hands together. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, all the way up. Palms together, hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, all the way up, palms together. Exhale, all the way down to the floor. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, down. Inhale, all the way up, palms together, hands to heart center. And you should feel a little warmth in your body with the breath coming in and out. Now coming to the edge of your chair. This is actually a seated chair pose. Very apropos here. So knees are together. You can either have them together touching, or maybe just to give you a little bit better support, maybe a fist between. But your chair, your seated chair, you're going to take a nice deep breath in, and you're going to lean forward, your hands up over your head. Or if that's too much for your shoulders, you can bring your hands to heart center. Now, if you feel stable and you're ready, you can do a standing chair, which would mean that you would come off the chair just slightly and then extend your hands up. And when you're ready, make sure your chair is there and then just come all the way down. So we'll do a couple of those. I'm going to either seated chair or coming up off your chair. Coming up, hands over your head, your arms, your upper arms towards your ears. And when you're ready, just release back down. If you're standing, make sure your chair is there before you sit. And then let's do a forward fold. after our chair pose. So inhale, hands overhead. Take a couple of breaths. And on your next exhale, coming all the way down. Inhale, coming back up to your chair. And exhale, coming all the way down to forward fold. Now, if you're standing, your forward fold may look like this. Straightening your legs, maybe a slight bend in your knees to protect your knees. Coming out of the forward fold, coming back into your chair. Now next, before we do our standing, I'll do one last pose here on the chair before we do our standing warrior. You can have a block on the floor, and this is a seated pigeon, so you might want to come to the edge of your chair. Your foot can either be, your right foot is on the floor or maybe on a block. You're bringing your left foot, crossing your foot over your right thigh. And you can stay right like this, right here. If this is too much for you, you can just cross your legs right at your ankles. Trying to get an expanded hip opening pose. Now again, you can stay right like this. If you want to hinge at your waist to get even more deeply into the pose, you can hold on to the back of your chair or the seat and then hinging at the waist coming forward. If it's in your practice, you can come all the way down. I'm just going to stay here for just a few breaths. And your next exhale, releasing that left foot down. Maybe doing some little rolls with your legs and your feet. And if you used a block or a book, moving it over to the left side and placing your left foot on the block or the book. And then bringing that right foot up onto your left thigh. Again, you can stay right here. If you want to come forward slightly, you can hinge at the waist. Or if you want to come further, just you can hang on to the chair if you need it. Or maybe you can let go and come forward. Again, just giving you options. Feeling that stretch in that hip. Nice hip opener. On your next exhale, releasing that foot down to the floor. Again, rotating your feet out. Rotating up your hips. And getting my things out of the way, we're going to come to our first standing pose. We're going to do some balancing poses. Let me move my chair. We're going to start with a tree pose. And again, you can use the chair, or you can just do your pose like you would do in a regular yoga class. I'll leave that up to you. You know, like I said, everybody's blacked out. We can't see if you fall over. That's perfectly fine. What you want to do is start with your left foot as your standing foot, making sure that all four corners of the foot are, you're feeling all four corners to give yourself a nice base. You don't want to hyperextend your knee. You want to have a slight bend in your knee. Now with tree pose, there's options. You can do a tripod, which is your right heel against your left ankle, or you can come up onto your shin. Do not come up on your knee. That is very dangerous to knee, especially if anybody has any knee issues. Or you can come up to your inner thigh, or or you can even come into lotus with your leg across. So once you've found what you want to do, you can just stay right here with your hand on the chair. You can raise your right arm up, and if you feel real stable, you can bring your left hand up. Try to pick out something that isn't moving, an object in your room that you can softly gaze at. And when you're ready on your next exhale, let the right foot come back to meet your left, and then just sort of rotate that left leg around. Next standing pose will stay on this side, so left foot again. You're going to raise your right knee up. Now you can hold it right underneath your thigh, maybe even grab it into your shin so you can pull it a little deeper. And flex your foot. Now, if you feel comfortable right here, you can stay right here. If you want to open it up to the side, you can do that. I'm giving you options. You can leave your right hand here, left hand on the chair, or you can bring your right arm up. Again, if you feel real stable, bring that left arm up. On your next exhale, bringing that foot down to the floor, rotating that left leg. Okay, now let's move some of our stuff out of here. We're going to do our warrior series now. So you're coming forward with your left foot forward and your right foot back. You want to have the edge of your foot, your pinky toe, still on the floor. Now, you can use your chair for support. Extend your arms out if you'd like into Warrior Two, or you can stay on the chair with basically your cheek, your left cheek on the chair, and then extend your arms out into Warrior Two. Now, if you are standing, coming into our next pose, which would be side angle, you can bring your left forearm down to your left thigh, and then bring your right arm up. Now you can look straight ahead. You can look up at your thumb. Kneel that chair there, because I'm not on a mat, it's sort of slippery here. So, bringing that arm up. Nice side stretch on the right. And then coming up slowly, keeping, I'm going to sit on the chair because this is very slippery here. So, go down in your side angle, and then you're coming back with your right hand, extending it back onto your right leg, and then bringing this left hand up over into Sun Warrior. And then coming out again into Warrior Two. And if you're standing, straightening that left leg. It's a little hard if you're on the chair. Coming into triangle. So, triangle, you can leave your hand on the back of the chair. You can bring it down to a block, down to the floor, and your right hand is extended up over your head. And coming back up into Warrior Two. And if you're sitting on your chair, still coming up, I'm going to do a forward fold on the chair. So you want to place your forearms on the chair, Stepping back slightly from the chair, might need more space here. And then just letting your head hang through your arms. And then from here, you can come into a down dog. Now, down dog, you want to step a little bit further away from the chair. You can use your chair. And then just have your head come through your shoulders again. Or you can use your chair. You can use the crossbar, or you can come down into your regular line. Just giving you options. Now, when you're ready, coming up out of your down dog and stepping forward with your left foot. Extending your right foot back, coming up on the ball of your foot into a crescent lunge. You can use the chair if you feel stable. You can come up with either hands to heart center or hands overhead. Take a nice long deep breath. And then bringing your hands back down to the chair, lowering your right heel down to the floor, and then just pressing into that heel, giving that calf area a nice stretch, nice Achilles tendon stretch. And when you're ready, bringing that right foot back together with your left. And then coming back to your chair, we're going to move on to the left side of the chair for your standing pose on the opposite side. Let's see, oh, good. Okay. So this time your right foot is going to be your standing foot. So make sure that that is placed with all four corners of the foot. Slight bend in your knee. And then this time, figure out what you want to do. Try to balance the same thing that you did on the right, you want to do on the left. So either if you did tripod on your shin, all the way up to your thigh, or lotus, try to duplicate. Now one side may be different than the other. Maybe you can't quite get all the way up on this side, and that's perfectly fine. And then once you feel you're stable, if you want to release and let that hand go up, your left hand, and you can let go of the right hand, and you can just stay in your tree. And like this, okay. And when you're ready, bringing that foot down, twisting that right leg around, wiggling all that tension out. Coming back to the right foot as your standing foot, and then coming into your knee pose. Now again, you can either hold it at your shin or underneath, whatever's more comfortable. If you're an experienced yogi and you want to do toe, big toe to peace fingers, you can do that. I'm just going to stay right like this. And again, you can bring that left arm up and then let him go. Make sure you're breathing. Sometimes people in balancing poses forget to breathe, so make sure you're breathing. And then when you're ready, coming back down, bringing that left foot down, wiggling that standing foot out. Now coming into our warrior series, stepping out with your right foot, your left foot or your back foot, the pinky edge of your foot is all the way down onto the floor. And you can either keep your hand on the chair and then just extend it back. Or you can come forward with your right hand. If you're sitting on the chair, your foot might come off the floor, that's okay. Extending out. And then taking your right hand, going to your right thigh, extending your left arm up over. You can either look up at your thumb, at your arm, straight ahead, or even the ground. This is actually a very nice neck stretch if you look down at the floor. On your next exhale, bringing that left hand back on your left leg, bringing your right hand up over into your sun warrior. Next exhale, bringing that right hand down, coming back into side angle. Next exhale, bringing your arms out into warrior two. And then straightening that right leg. I said it's sort of hard to do it on the chair. Coming into your triangle pose, reaching with your right hand, bringing it down either to your thigh, your shin. The floor might be a little far, or you book your block. And your arm is straight up, looking either at your thumb or straight ahead. And then on the next exhale, releasing your arms out into warrior two. And then coming up onto your chair, into your forward fold. Forearms on the chair. Head coming through your shoulders. Feet flat on the ground. Remember to breathe. And scooting your hands back a little bit more on the chair, or scooting the chair out, coming into your down dog on the chair. Using either the seat of the chair, the legs of the chair, sidebar, or even coming all the way down to the floor. Stay right here. On your next exhale, coming up, stepping forward with your right foot, coming back on the ball of your foot, coming into your crescent lunge. Now you can stay right here with your hands. You can come up to prayer, or arms over your head. Nice bend in that front knee. And then coming all the way down onto your back foot. You'll press into the floor. And just nice stretch in the calf and the Achilles. Bringing that foot to meet the other foot. And then just rolling up, standing for a second. Now bringing your chair around. You might want to stand behind your chair. I'm going to do dancer's pose. It's another balancing, but we can use the strap or your belt, or maybe just your hand. going to stand to the side so you can see me, but you can use the full back of your chair. So you can just put your strap or your belt just around your lower foot area, and you can stand right like this. This can be your dancer's pose. The more you bend into raising and kicking up, the more hard it is. So if you are in the back of your chair and you're kicking out, maybe this is your dancer's pose. Maybe this is your dancer's pose. Maybe this is your dancer's pose. Just play with it. It's always fun to experiment. Like I said, everything, and nobody can see you. If you fall over, then that's perfectly fine. And on your next exhale, just lowering that right foot down, or whatever foot you were using, and then coming to the other side, putting your strap, your belt, or maybe your hand on your opposite foot. And this might be it. This might be your dancer's pose, just bending at the knee. Or if you want to kick out, kicking out. If you really feel stable and you want to have your hand out, just keep your wrist here. You're looking at something that's not moving. Next exhale, bringing that foot down, releasing your strap. And then coming back to your seated chair. Let's shake it off a little bit with a couple of little mini sun salutations. So just nice deep inhale, palms together, hands to heart center. Nice inhale, palms together, hands to heart center. Now what we can do is just, we're slowing down here a little bit, getting ready for our final poses. So you can come into your forward fold with your straight legs, or maybe you just want to hang. But this is a nice little inversion. If you want to do a straddle, and just come forward and hang your head, letting that head go. Just releasing everything. As you're over, maybe doing a yes with your head, and go doing a no back and forth, and then always come back to yes. So as you hang, you're giving your neck a little relief from carrying your head around all day. Just releasing your shoulders, releasing your head. And then when you're ready, slowly, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way up, rolling up. Head is the last thing to come up. Now you can use, we're coming into cobbler's pose. You could use a block, or maybe you just keep your feet on the floor. But your feet, the soles of your feet come together. If you're using a block, you can have the side part of the block, or maybe when it's on its edge, or maybe even when it's on its end. Again, giving you options. Now you can stay right like this with your legs out, or you can hinge at the waist and walking yourself down. Again, a nice little bend. You'll be resting your arms on your legs. Remember to breathe. Long, slow, deep breaths. We're slowing down. And again, undoing your feet, bringing them flat on the floor. Slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time, coming into your seated position. And again, if you want to rest your feet coming into our final Shavasana in the chair. So if you want to put your feet on your pillow or your bolster or your block or your book, and then just sit back with your back right up against the chair. You can have your hands either folded in your lap, flat on your thighs, or maybe just hand palms up to receive. So just flutter your eyes closed. And just gently, gently breathing in and out. Taking a long, slow, deep breath in. Holding it at the top. And opening your mouth wide and letting everything go. Taking a nice, slow, deep breath in. Holding it slightly. Opening your mouth wide and letting everything go. Nice, long, slow, deep inhale. Longest inhale of the class. Holding it slightly. Opening your mouth wide and letting everything go. And just sitting with yourself, being present. Finding your nice, soft, natural breath. Long, slow inhale. Slow exhale. Softening the space between your eyebrows. Releasing your eyes back into their sockets. Opening your lips just slightly. Moving your jaw from side to side, just relaxing that jaw. Feeling the space, the energy coming into your neck. And releasing into your shoulders, shoulders softening. Upper arms softening. Forearms down to your wrists and your fingers. Just releasing all that energy. Coming into your chest, your heart, your lungs. Just softening that area. Down into your hips, your thighs. Releasing the energy into your knees, your shins, your toes. Just letting everything soften, everything go. Just sitting softly with your breath. And while you're sitting here, I have a reading that I'd like to share with you. It's out of Melody Beattie's Journey to the Heart. It's called Loving Yourself Will Make It Better. I thought this really spoke to me today, so I think that this will be very appropriate for what we're going through. Are you feeling powerless? Have circumstances taken a turn you don't like? Do you feel there's nothing you can do to make today better? One power that's always available to you is the power to love yourself. Sometimes we feel powerless. We have circumstances in our lives we simply cannot change, no matter what we do, to create something different, to move the situation along. We can't get another person to behave differently. We can't seem to change something at work. We can't do much about our money situation, at least not at the moment. Nothing in life seems to be going our way. It's not that we're doing anything wrong. We aren't off our path or neglecting a particular lesson. The energy of that particular time in our lives is frustrating. There is no action you can take to change your circumstances. All we can do is surrender to the circumstances, accept what's happening, and stay in the moment. During those times, there is one action we can take that will help. We can love ourselves. When we can't do anything about the world around us, when we can't even seem to do much about ourselves, we can always love ourselves. When all other powers seem to be stripped away, we can practice the power of self-love. It's the one power no one can take. Self-love will always make things better. When perhaps a difficult time is past, you'll look back and say, that's what I was really learning all along, the ever-present healing power of learning to love myself. Thank you so much for coming to practice with us in your home. And as always, I'd like to finish our class with our namaste. Although we cannot say it together, in one place we can say it and we feel the power coming through. So I honor the place in you where the universe resides. I honor the place in you of love, of trust, of peace, of light. I honor the place in you that if you are in that place, then I am in that place too. We are one. And together we say, namaste. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed your chair class and hope to see you next week. And if you have any questions, let me know. I think I've got everybody's email and I'll share mine with you. So if you want to see anything happening in future classes, please let me know. Okay? So you take care of yourself and take care of your families, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.